hi to YouTube. Hello YouTube. ¿Cómo están? Ojalá que estén bien. Bienvenidos al stream. Honestamente, m- me ha llevado ob- obsesionado de este programa. I've been absolutely enthralled by the Monogatari series in general. I've been thinking about their characters inside and out, Arakun, and especially a lot about boundaries, because I think the previous episode we kind of know what happens. But honestly, yeah, it's just something that's been like running through my mind, like, oh, what is the outlook of them towards him in general, right? What is it? What is the fixation with kids? What is the like, so on and so forth. End of Nises were the real monster. Sounds good, Aisha. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a great night. I hope you practice that self care. Know that we sincerely love you and appreciate you. Guido, thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate you. But yeah, as we've been going through the Monogatari series, a lot of questions have been popping up about boundaries, about what it means to be able to go and do certain things in the series, and just like what is the matter of roles, right? What roles do we place importance to and why? And that's just one thing that my mind is like, The previous episode, it was the episode where um, I'll do it like this. No, YouTube, I ain't doing anything bad, right? It was the episode where he's like, "Let me go ahead and clean your teeth," and they're like, "Oh, oh, oh." Yeah, that whole thing. It was wild because you would be like, that's, uh, uh, hmm. I think that's yeah, author reaching for the artistic heavens. You could say that again, but it was something. That's the best way to put it. Hey, I ain't shooting it down. I ain't shooting that. It was something. And with that being said, let's just jump into it.
約束を果たすのはなるべく早い方がいいだろうと月日の千枚同士の魔師からなんとか命からがら逃れた直後約束を果たすのは
This is interesting. This is really interesting. Okay. I know you guys might be wondering, but why? Why are you going to this? I was at the Griffiths Observatory a couple weeks ago, and I was literally going over um, the cycles of the moon and all of this stuff, right? One of the big things that were referenced, because you have to remember, in anime, everything is done with a purpose, right? And including doing the shot. And I think I just completely missed the shot. Maybe I wasn't as educated or whatnot. But the complete, for example, we're at a tilt, we're processing, we're moving through our times, we're moving through our cycles around the sun and whatnot. My big thing is, so this is definitely going to be a focus on the other sister, yeah, on on the other sister, right? And is this going to be more of a location in terms of like, wait, what? Yeah, this is going to be more of a focus on the other sister. What we're more than likely going to see, I think you said that to Cindy, more than likely going to see is more of an emphasis towards resolution. So I'm assuming these next 3 episodes is going to be that specific thing. Like, I guess establishing his sister towards either humanizing her or allowing her to go ahead and go forward. You mean Arakun Bochi the Johns Rock Johns? Dude, I love your name. That's awesome. Anyway, the reason why I'm looking at this is because you wouldn't just put this for no reason, right? Any cyclical motions that we go through, and this is kind of what I'm curious about, is even through the cycles of change and relapse, and through the cycles of the earth and whatnot, we have 2 sisters, one that burns like fire, and I guess the other one that's cold as ice. So which one are we gonna get?
なるべく早い方がいいだろうと月日の千枚同士の魔師からなんとか命からがら逃れた直後僕はカンバルの携帯へと電話をかけた
いや、荒木先輩、それは困るな。確かに私は荒木先輩の妹さんに会ってみたいと言ったこと。
After he made his sister almost have an orgasm with the toothbrush and was on top of her, literally about to grope, he decides to. Oh, God, dude. If you describe it in detail, oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. But also,
とはあるけれど、それはあくまでも冗談として言ったわけであって、決して本気だったわけではないのだ。いや、だって荒木先輩の心遣いは本当に嬉しいと思うけれど、でもだからって妹さんの処女なんてもらえないよ。
誰がやるか。お前にやるくらいだったら僕がもらうわ。
That's that's a little that's a, okay. That's all I gotta say.
お気持ちだけ頂戴しておく。
気持ちもやらねえよ。妹に関してお前にあげるものは何もない。そんなわけで紆余曲折あった末、今日の正午過ぎにカレンを連れて行く約束を僕は無事に取り付けたのだった。
Wait, hold on. I gotta black out the screen. Thank you.
では服を着て待っている。
なんで基本
Hey,
全裸なんだよ。
yo. I am a changed man. Kambaru is like hits my soul and my heart. But I wonder if this whole character design is quite literally for her trying to go to free up, considering to how she was before with, you know. Hold on, we're about to get into the opening, but I like that's one thing that I've been wondering about, right? Because she's more and more open in terms of like nudity and whatnot, whereas before it's like because of her nice arm, she was a lot more covered up in every regard, right? Well, even at least this aspect was. So that's why I'm like, I wonder what it means for someone to literally go through a cycle like that. That's huge. Anyway. Damn.
兄ちゃん、じゃんけん必勝法って知ってるか？この必勝法を知ってると知らないとでは、その後のじゃんけん人生がガラッと変わっちまうだろうぜ。本当は私だけの秘密にしときたいんだけど、兄ちゃんのおかげで今日はいい日だからな。特別に粋な計らいで教えてやろっつってんじゃねえか。月日ちゃんにだって教えてねえんだぞ。にっしし。
いいよ、分かった。聞いてやる。優しい暦お兄ちゃんがカレンちゃんの話を聞いてやる。
よーし、兄ちゃんがそこまで頼むなら教えてやる。
What, I'm not wearing panties or something?
あー、でもあれだな、ただじゃんけんするだけじゃ兄ちゃんのモチベーションが上がらねえか。何かかけた方がいいな。
いいよ、そんなのめんどくさい。
いや、そうしとかねえと後で兄ちゃんがわざと負けてやったんだとかなんとか、そんな負け惜しみを言い張る可能性があるだろうが。
じゃんけんでわざと負けるって、それはもう必勝法と同じくらいの難易度だと思うけれど。
よし、じゃあこうしよう兄ちゃん。体育会系罰ゲームだ。じゃんけんで負けた方がじゃんけんで勝った方をここからおぶっていく。
おぶってって。
おんぶだ。目的
We started seeing we're like 2 episodes in Bochi the Rock Johnson. My thing is it's interesting in general the how much she tries to go ahead and push, as I mentioned, boundaries, right? In this entire thing. Um it's interesting to see how much she's trying to go ahead and like push this resolve, right? Push um well, how far this relationship might go in that regard. Do they really have to go along like this? And also, do you get along with your siblings like this? Legitimately asking, do you and your siblings get along like this where you grab a toothbrush and you're able to go and brush your teeth and yeah, bro, Bochi definitely should. It's yeah, I was gonna say I don't get along with any of my siblings like this. Because there's some straight up like boundaries placed there. And sort of one thing that I'm wondering with this, right, is for this no, but I mean like immediately. Like if your sibling came right next to you, would you allow them to brush your teeth in a very orgasmic way, right? Only for them to be like like touchy and being like, "Hey, let me carry you, or you carry me, or so on and so forth." You know, I'm looking at this and I'm like, it feels as though at least from her perspective, the boundary of like what is normally seen as siblings is dissipating, and the fact that he was willing to go out and like involve in that way sort of dissipated as well. Like that's to get ready for a movie night. Aw, appreciate you, Juicy Juicy. Honestly, I hope you have a phenomenal night. Have a great movie night, and if you're still up by the time we come back, don't matter if you're fucked up. Come join us, dude. I'll bring you on. We'll have like I'll keep drinking so we can just keep having a good time. Appreciate you, Juicy. You're a queen. I hope you know that. I love you. You're absolutely fantastic. I still don't understand people complaining about fan service in some shows and the Monogatari gets crickets. How so, Sagasu? Like, like what other shows have gotten like worse in general? Like more shit for their fan service or the fan servicey moments more so than Monogatari. You have to remember, I'm don't judge. I'm like just here for it in general, right? But I'm kind of curious because I've seen a lot of fan service in Fire Force. Fire Force get a lot of. Moshiko Tensei did. Oh, I still get in arguments with people, dude. I get in arguments with. Oh, let me go ahead and say this out there, guys. If you watch Moshiko Tensei, right? I hate. First off, let me break a couple bubbles while we're in here. Number one, Subaru is not a perfect character. Subaru is a flawed character because every person is flawed and every good character should be flawed. Let me burst that bubble right there, because some people have tried to go ahead and like reach out and talk to me and be like, but Subaru's a perfect character, none of his actions are like wrong, even at the royal selection. Like, I've had some people try and talk to me about that. It's like, Subaru's a fucking flawed character. There's a lot of attachment issues. There's a lot of like, things that we can get into because of the fact of like what he did, right? Number two, with Moshiko Tensei, if you're not understanding the main concept is about a person going through change and you're just willing to go ahead and shit on him because of who he is, it makes me wonder, are you just shitting on him because of who he was in a past life? Because I've often seen a lot of like good looking characters not get as much shit, and that's sort of why I'm always like, when it comes to some shows, it's like, oh, this character is gonna, like Rudy, for example, gets a shit ton of hate, like whatnot. But yet you take any other handsome character from a past life, throw him in there, not as much hate. Put Rudy for the fan servicey moments and whatnot. Nah, Paul looks good and we give him shit. Yeah, but I'm talking about specifically like the main characters, right? Or main character, right? So I'm like, when it comes to the main character doing fan servicey moments and all of that, But also, Paul is a flawed character, and that's what makes him absolutely amazing. And Moshiko Tensei doesn't have much fan service, to be honest. Paul is legit awful sometimes. Oof. Anyway, let's get to it because I feel like there's a lot of moments in this, especially with the way that he interacts with some of the characters, that I'm like, it's funny. It like reading it would be like, and then like watching it be animated and like, you know, just breaking it down, taking the time to literally think about, for example, all the caution signs and stuff like that. You're like, what is this really going for?
敵地までおんぶ。
まあいいか。もし負けた時は約束を破るまでだ。よしよし、分かった。その条件でいいや。
お、やけにあっさり飲むな。
いや、何も企んでなんかいないよ。兄ちゃんを信頼しろ。お前の兄ちゃんは約束は決して違えない男だろ。
そうだったな。兄ちゃんは私の誇りだ。
こいつとの約束は多分1000回単位で破っているのだが、なんだこの信頼度。じゃあ行くぜ。じゃんけん。
ああ、待ったすでにそこから勝負は始まってるんだよ。その掛け声は自分でかけること。これがまず必勝法の第一段階だ。
第一段階ってたかがじゃんけんで随分と大行だな。第何段階まであるんだよ。
第二段階。
しょぼ。掛け声を自分で出すことで場を制するってわけか。なんだかスピリチュアルな話になってんな。まあいいけど、じゃあお前掛け声かけろよ。
おお、いくぜー。じゃん。
So you're gonna punch you or some. Oh.
わかるか、わかったか兄ちゃん。じゃんと言って剣でもう手を出す。そうすることによって本を待っていた相手に強制的に後出しをさせることができるんだ。競技の名称を利用した敵に後出しを強いる究極のテクニック。
Are there actual rules to rock, paper, scissors? I thought like if the other person doesn't go, you just fucking do it again. Otherwise, it's like a pre-drawn hand, you know. This feels what? Is she trying to fucking five-head this shit? Hold on.
グーを出そうがチョキを出そうがパーを出そうが、相手が後出しである以上自動的に私の勝ちとなるって算段さ。さあ兄ちゃん、私をおぶってもらおうか。
卑怯すぎるだろ。お前どこの誰がそんなんで負けを認めるんだよ。
せっかくさっき思いついたのに。
思いつきか。
That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. That was pretty fucking funny. That got me, dude. That fucking got me. Oh. She's too smart for good people like us. Oh, dude.
おんぶじゃ済まねえ。罰則として僕を肩車して歩け。
仕方ねえな。
Hey, yo.
私の肩に乗れ。
What is this camera angle, dude?
いや、やっぱやめとこうか、カレンちゃん。僕、最近勉強のしすぎで太ったし。
何キロ
56キロ。
だったら平気だよ。180キロまでは私にとっては重さじゃないし。
お前は月の世界の住人か。
What the fuck?
まあ、そうじゃなくともさ、カレンちゃん。ほら、おんぶならともかく肩車となると、お前のポニテが邪魔になるじゃん。
ああ、このポニテか。確かにそうだな。
そうだろ。
兄ちゃんの言う通りだ。さすが兄ちゃん、言う通りじゃなかったことがねえな。
鍵。
Are you gonna cut your hair? Don't.
お兄ちゃんビニールテープ切るときとか服のタグ切るときとかにキーのギザギザを利用したりしないの？
Nope. As a fucking therapist, nope. Are you kidding me? Fucking separate them right now, dude. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm sure she looks great with short hair, but what is this saying? What message is this giving, dude? Oh, also for her to be, because hair is important for a lot of people, man. It establishes a big, it's obsession, it's lust, and 101 things, which is why I'm like, okay, how comfortable would you be seeing this? Like, legit, in a real person? Take into consideration 2 of your cousins or siblings or something, and you, from a third person perspective, watching something like this happen. There's some added depth. Ooh, okay, hold on.
おお、軽くなった軽くなった。おーっと、ちょうどいいところにゴミ箱が。はい。よし、 これで兄ちゃんを肩車できるぜ。
お前小学校の頃からずっとポニテだったじゃん。こだわりとかあったんじゃねえのかよ。
長ったらしくて手入れは大変だし、寝るときめんどくせえし、起きたら起きたで寝癖だし、ずっとうざいと思ってたよ。
我慢してたの。
じゃあ兄ちゃん肩車だ。肩車
なんで乗り
Mildly intrigued, but no. You've had something since elementary school. So right now what she's doing is she's prioritizing Ada-kun over quite literally even herself. Her physical body self. I don't think that that's a real reason to cut hair. I think for more of a fact that's sort of what happened previously, right? And oftentimes this happens when a lot of boundaries are broken with younger kids, whatnot. You have to remember, like, a human brain doesn't fully stop developing until they're 25, right? And oftentimes people look for social affirmation, and if the only, like, let's say his parents aren't really home and they keep looking up to him, where are they going to try and get that social affirmation or that affirmation from? Probably from her brother, right? Her brother is in a weird pedestal position that has been placed there, and now that he's erased the boundaries of what a brother is to, like, you know, some sexual elements, guess what? This could probably get even worse in some cases. Like, IRL, in real life, this could get to a point where, yeah. Because attachment, if you're able to let go of an attachment like that, for me, it's bringing up that there might be a lot of anxious, like anxiety. It might be an anxious attachment. Or it might be like, you know, it might be a mixed attachment style altogether. That's huge. That is a huge moment as a character, because it could also mean, like, for example, if she would have done this without him there, cutting off her hair, it could have been like cutting off the weight of her past, right? But because she cut off her hair in order to carry her brother on her shoulders. Also, Culture Pal, thanks so much for chatting, man. I appreciate you being here. That's huge. That's huge. You know, like any other way, the emotional impact of a character development for cutting off their hair, you can give it 100 more perspectives on there. I actually shaved my own head earlier. What are the odds I'm watching this right now, right? Dang, Bochi. That's something else. But, like, for example, some people it's just a practice to cut their hair, but if you've been growing it out for a long time, there's usually a meaning behind it, right? And irrationalization is usually something that you would try and process, and not just a spur of the moment thing. That's interesting.
That's interesting.
なんで肩車する方がノリノリなんだよ、このド M 妹が。やっぱこれ全然僕に対する罰ゲームでしかねえだろう。
じゃあ立つぞ。
怖い。この高すぎる視点超怖い。下ろせ、今すぐ下ろせ。すいません、下ろしてください、カレンさん。いや、カレン様。
兄ちゃん、ちょっといいかな。
なんだよ。
兄ちゃんの局部が後頭部に当たって気持ち悪い。どうだろう兄ちゃん。ここは公平に、私のポニテ同様、兄ちゃんの局部も切り落とすべきじゃないだろうか。
怖すぎるわ。
お前の髪はまた伸びるか知らんけど、僕の局部は切り落としたらもういろいろとあらゆる全てがおしまいだろうが。
そっか。でも兄ちゃん、重さは問題ないんだけど、あんま揺れられるとバランス崩れるからじっとしててくんない？
無茶言うな。僕はお前じゃねえんだよ。こんなキリンみたいな視点でバランス取れるか。
しょうがねえな。ちょっと神経使うと思うけど、兄ちゃん、
That's
重
pretty
心を
funny.
前方に傾けて、私の首から頭に対して上半身を乗っけろ。そんでからブラブラさせてる足を脇の。
Look at some of this, dude. I'm sorry, bro, but look at some of this. Like, oh, wait, isn't that from Madoka? A single adult, is that Kyobe? Right? Hey, yo, what a fucking reference in here. Well, Rainy Winters. I feel like there could be, absolutely, but it's also like you would think that they would show this in another way rather than just like immediately because of her brother, because it gives off different impressions off of that, right? It could be that it was time for change due to that femininity aspect, but at the same time, because of that femininity aspect, it's sort of what enabled them to have that scene in previous episodes, right? I mean, previous, yeah. Madoka have the same voice actor. Oh, that makes sense. But that's sort of what I'm going about. Like, in terms of character development, they really could have built it up in a way of doing that. But it seems as though it's just revolving around Ara-kun specifically, which is, there's nothing wrong with that in general. But I'm just curious because for me, it's like, or is this just a one shot where from this point on, from this series on, the sisters aren't necessarily going to be as involved and they're just going to be cameo characters, and we're going to get 2 other characters or 3 other characters that come in, and it turns out that there's like, it's no longer a bee, it's a fucking alien slime water toad thing or something, you know? Like, are we doing it? The rest of one was quite different from Nisa. That's why I'm asking, like, because if you introduce these characters, right, then they have to have some sort of payoff at some type of point, right, to the overarching theme, not just their own little series. Yeah, Zuko and Iroh cutting the hair was a big monumental event. Absolutely, Masters. Absolutely. Really? It wasn't even supposed to be published? Oh, and multiple characters.
こうか。
これで大丈夫だ。
いや、僕があんまり大丈夫じゃなくなっちゃったけど。指先さえ動かなくなってるぞ。変な風にしびれてるし。ねえ、カレン様、これひょっとして血の流れとか止められてません？
She's gripping your thighs for dear life, dude.
さっきまでは兄ちゃんのふくらはぎが私のおっぱいの先っちょに擦れて気持ち悪かったし、局部が頭に押し付けられたり、脇に挟んだり。兄ちゃん、肩車ってこんなにエロい行為だったっけ？
いや、普通男女逆なんだけどな。
じゃあまあ行こっか、兄ちゃん。ミッシッシ。
そこな鬼畜なお兄やん。
Hey, yo. I even have to question if that was coming from the speakers or from my ears.
ちいと聞きたいことがあるんやけど、かめへんかな。
Once we get a dramatic pose like that, that's a fucking mommy, dude. Like, once we get a pose of any character doing this, dude, it's game. It's game.
なんいうか、栄光軸いうとこ探しとんねんけど、踊れ、それどこにあるんか知らんけ？なんや、鬼畜なお兄やん。
Hey, yo. Let me guess, she knows Oshino too.
困っとる人を見たら親切にしたり言うて、子供の頃に教えてもらってんのけ。
いや、客観的な第三者が観察する限りにおいてどうだろう。郵便ポストを踏み台にしている彼女と妹を踏み台にしている僕とでは、僕の方がいささか分が悪いのではないだろうか。鬼畜呼ばわりもわからなくはない。
うちはの影縫い夜鶴言うねん。知らんかな？
僕は荒木小弓と言います。
私は荒木カレンと言います。
Those eyes, dude.
やんにスズメバチの妹け。おもろいやん。
スズメバチっつったか今。
まあその辺はもう終わっとるみたいやし、別に構やせんねんけど。で、どうなん？
I am so glad. I am so glad I stayed for the introduction of this character. I am so glad. What have you guys done to me? Legit, what the fuck have you guys done to me? Where now I am like deeply satisfied by watching a Dommy mommy on screen. I don't know. I don't know. I am so glad.
質問繰り返させてもらうけど、踊れ、栄光軸って知っとる？
はあ。Yes, Daddy. ちょっと待ってください。僕の友達に日本中にある全ての学習塾の位置を把握しているという脅威の女子がいるんです。じゃあ電話だ。羽川さんに電話だ。やったー。
お待たせしました。羽川です。荒木くん、ちゃんと勉強してる？サボってない？そう、よかった。私？うん、いいよ。
If those were his, oh, dude, I am questioning the living fuck out of this
軽
dude.
くお昼の勉強してたとこだから。英光塾？うん、知ってるよ。
お前は何でも知ってるな。
I only know what
何
I
でも
know.
は知らないわよ。知ってることだけ。っていうか、荒木くん、英光塾なら荒木くんだって知ってるはずでしょ？だってほら、押野さんと忍ちゃんがずーっと
Fucking, I was like, there has to be a connection to Oshino, man. That man's a fucking like magnet, dude. Dude, the characters in this are like enthralling, and the fact that they're all able to go ahead and like, debo retirarme. Te quiero mucho. Buenas noches. Ojalá que tengas una buenas noches. Ojalá que duermas bien. But yeah, dude, like the characters in this show are just phenomenal in the way that they're all able to go ahead and interact with one another and like keep a spiral going in terms of like new characters that are added. They've all like the integration of one another.
住んでいたあのハイビル、あのビルディングに入っていた学習塾がそうなんだからさ。
英光塾ね。そんな頭良さそうな名前の学習塾だったんだ、あそこ。
別にこんなのお礼を言われるほどのことじゃないよ。それじゃあ荒木くん、カンバルさんにもよろしく伝えといてね。バイバイ。
That's terrifying.
ってカンバルに会いに行くなんて僕一言も言ってねえ。ほんのちょっと塾の所在を聞くだけのことでどれだけ僕のプライベートがバレちゃってるんだよ。大将でかす。
That's what I was like. That's fucking terrifying. She knows where you're going. I think she kind of. There has to be another reason as to why she knows.
わかったんけ？鬼畜なお兄やん。
あ、ええ、その。
はあ？おお、なるほどな。そっちやったんか。
でも影縫さん、もうその塾潰れちゃってるんですけれど、何をしに行くんですか？
何をしに行くいうわけでもないんやけど、まずは拠点作りかな。
Everyone goes there.
ほなおおきに、鬼畜なお兄やん。あ、せやせや。踊れ、ひょっとしたらこんくらいのちっちゃい子に同じように道聞かれるかもしれへんけど、そん時は同じように安城親切にしたってや。
Hey, what the
あ、なんだよ。さっきからえらく静かだな、カレンちゃん。どうしたよ。あんな不思議人類の相手を僕一人に任せてんじゃねえぞ。
あ、ごめんなさい。いや、なんかすげえ強そうな人だなと思ってさ、構えちゃってた。
Oh shit.
そうか？そうは見えなかったけど、振る舞いとか言葉遣いとかを除けばどこにでもいる綺麗なお姉さんって感じだったけど。
あの人、兄ちゃんと話してる間中一遍も体の軸がブレてなかったよ。フィギュアスケートの選手並みのバランス感覚だ。
けどお前だってブロック塀の上とか歩いたりするだろ。しかも逆立ちしながら。
まあそうなんだけど、でもあの人相当鍛えてるよ。拳の形完璧に人を殴るための仕様になってたし。
そうだっけ？
うん。車のバンパーどついたらエアバッグが飛び出す級。
は
あ。私の師匠でようやく互角ってところだろうありゃ。少なくとも私じゃ勝てね
え。おやおやカレンさん。
You guys were right. She is a Dommy mommy, but with that amount of power, that means that you probably come with like some supernatural help or like some supernatural ability or a curse or something, right?
随分と弱気じゃねえか。
戦力差くらいちゃんとわかるさ。相手が悪じゃなけりゃな。つってもあの人が悪じゃねえとはまだ決まったわけじゃねえけどさ。
その後僕はカレンを無事にカンバル家まで送り届け、門のところで双方を双方に紹介したのだった。
Yeah, to that school is not
直
normal.
江津高校2年生のカンバル駿河さん。 変態だから気をつけろ。こちら津軽木第二中学3年生の荒木カレンさん。バカだから気をつけろ。
I wonder if this is more like an agreed rivalry here. Hold on.
生のカンバルスルガさん。変態だから気をつけろ。こちら
Because she knows about her, and I sort of wonder if she cut off her hair as a way to resemble her in an aspect now. Even going through that and like posturing through it, I'm like, huh, wait a minute. That would talk about symbolism with this, right? Like the great minds think alike type of thing.
津軽木第二中学3年生の荒木カレンさん。バカだから気をつけろ。
いや
シンクロして照れてんじゃねえよ。褒めてねえし。カレンをカンバル家に送り届けた後、一人逆立ちもなし、肩車もなしで家路に着いたところ
Yeah, I saw Nicole
8時を発見した。
brother.
やれやれ。どうせみんなここで僕が喜び勇んで8時に飛びかかるとでも思ってるんだろうな。まだ僕の存在にまるで気づいていないあの危機感が全くない生まれたての小鹿みたいな少女に後ろからしがみつきでもしてしこたま頬ずりでもするとそんな風に思われちゃってるんだろうな。いや認めるよ。確かに僕にはそういう時代もあった、
Okay,
ありました。
you've grown,
で
yeah.
ももう僕は大人だからね。8時迷いという少女に対しては何の興味も持っていないのだ。まあまあそうは言っても逆に8時に対して興味を失っているからこそここであえて8時を無視する理由も特にないのかもしれないな。無視なんかしたらそれは逆に変に意識しているからだなんてそんな厚かましくもずうずうしい勘違いをされる可能性があるじゃないか。それを思えばだよ。8時のことなんて意識していないという分かりやすい証明としてここは軽く声をかけておくというのが賢明な方策なのかもしれないな。よしよし、そういう結論が出てしまったのなら僕ももう逆らうまい。全くもってやぶさかじゃない。早く家に帰って勉強しなくちゃ羽川に怒られちゃうんだけれど、ほんの1分だけ8時のために時間を使ってやるとするか。さあ思いっきりしがみつくぞ、お釣りするぞ、触るぞ、揉むぞ、心ゆくまで愛するぞ。今日こそ僕は8時を抱く。
Bro, we need to fucking call Chris Hansen. What the fuck is this, bro? I am sorry. I see someone doing this in the middle of the street. 911? Especially this, dude. You guys ready? Like, you see, think about it like this, right? You're walking through a dark alley. And you turn around and you see this running. Oh.
忍てめえの仕業がクソこいつ何度まで
忍
邪魔しやがって僕の人生の最大目標を邪魔しやがってもう血やんねえぞこの金髪金がお前のことなんか見捨てとけよかった。
キキララさん。
8時、僕の名前をファンシーグッズのリトルツインスターズみたいに言い間違えるな。僕の名前は荒木だ。つうかお前さっきすっ転んだ僕に対して驚きのリアクションを取るときちゃんと荒木さんって言ってたじゃねえ。
I love how fucking genuinely pissed it was. Not today, pedal boy. Not today. I'm living inside of him. If I was living inside of him, I would just be like this the entire fucking time. Like, what is?
失礼、噛みました。
違う、わざとだ。
I'm telling you, I'm buying a fucking Shinobu figurine at some point, dude. Probably gonna order it off the internet because I don't want to get fucking judged again by like trying to buy a bunch of Monogatari figures. Oh. Oh, that was cute. I'm not gonna lie, that was cute.
荒木さんは相変わらずアドリブに弱いですね。しかし荒木さん、こんな真っ昼間からブラブラと街中を徘徊するとは余裕ですね。受験勉強は諦めたのですか？
ブラブラと徘徊って。
頑張ってるふりをして羽川さんの気を引くの飽きちゃいましたさ。
人聞きが悪すぎるわ
まあ羽川さんはいつまでも荒木さんの演技に騙されるような方ではありませんからね。大方受験勉強を名目に羽川さんのキャミ姿を眺めてたのがバレちゃったんでしょう。荒木 木さんのモチベーションの半分は羽川さんのおっぱいに関係していますからね。
僕はお前から見てどんな人間
I
なんだ
mean,
よ。
motivation.
半分は不詳私のメリハリボディ。
お前のボディのどこら辺にメリとかハリとかあるんだよ。お前のボディはなんていうかこう美味しいビーフシチューが作れそうなくらいの寸胴ボディじゃねえか。僕お前のことは好きだけど別にツルベタのロリが好きってわけじゃないんだよ。
Okay, yeah.
お前だって小学生にしては父がでかい方だから相手してやってるだけなんだぜ。あくまでもお前の現時点においては合ってないようなその胸の将来性に期待しているに過ぎ。
Araku. You're a high schooler. Imagine a high schooler telling this to an elementary kid. Yeah, that's over here, officer. Oh, officer, we were overhearing a gentleman just being a bit creepy. Yo, Araku, my heart.
まあでもあれだぜ八九時、僕は戦場ヶ原と付き合ってるし羽川のことが大好きだけれど結婚するならお前だと思ってるぜ。
私の大事な人生初プロポーズをあなたが奪わないでください、荒木さん。っていうか小学生にプロポーズしないでください。
取り合ってもらえない。僕の胸に溢れるこの情念は
Straight up, Senjogahara should. I'm gonna keep being an advocate for the Senjogahara leaving this man. He said it. He loves Hanekawa. Then fucking be with Hanekawa, dude. And Bakaragi. But no, I like there's been a lot of small occasions where he has specifically shown that like he's willing to go the extra mile to break a lot of like the interpersonal relationship boundaries with Senjogahara. And like leans more towards Hanekawa in many things. Senjo settled. Where is the bottom line? Actually, yeah. Would you guys have stayed with this guy if you guys were dating him? Yay or nay? Because that's huge. Like that's a I don't know, dude. I don't know. Constantly getting like if my partner, right? What was, for example, if my partner was doing this with a bunch of guys, I don't know, dude. I would only. Oh, Brady. Brady. Yeah, I don't know. After the first time that we have a conversation, if you keep breaking that, and I don't know how I feel about that, you know?
どうすれば八九時の胸に届くのだろう。直に触れてみればいいのだろうか。揉めば電動するのだろうか。
おやおや、なんだ。
What? What?
僕の胸に溢れるこの情念はどうすれば八九時の胸に届くのだろう。直に触れてみればいい。
What? I feel like I.
のだろうか。揉めば。
No. This is so. Truly, this was a sake
電動
of.
するのだろうか。
おやおや、なんだか嫌な気配を感じますよ。
気をつけるんだな八九時。僕はいつだってお前の胸を狙っているぜ。ちょっとでもきっかけがあればすぐに触りに行くからな。
ところでからぶきさん、
確かに僕は明日カンバルの部屋を掃除する予定だけども、だからといって別に掃除好きの掃除マニアってわけじゃないんだから、乾いた布での清掃法みたいな名前で僕を呼ぶな。僕の名前は荒木だ。
失礼、噛みました。
違う、わざとだ。
噛みました。
甘神。
Hey.
今回はちゃんとアドリブに対応できた。僕もやられっぱなしじゃない。
ねえ鬼のお兄ちゃん、知ってるんだったら教えてよ。僕の知りたい道のこと。
Wait, what?
僕は決め顔でそう言った。
She's with that Dommy mommy, isn't she? She's with that Dommy mommy, isn't she? Hold on. Yeah.
栄光塾って名前の今はもう潰れちゃってる学習塾があるらしいんだけど、鬼のお兄ちゃん、それがどこにあるのか知らないかな。
僕は決め顔でそう言った。
I said with the pose look.
僕の名前は小野の清次。僕は決め顔でそう言った。
口癖うぜえ。そういうからにはせめて決め顔を見せろ。
そうかい。僕は荒木小弓だよ。
よろしく、鬼のお兄ちゃん。
I said with the pose look. Oh my god, dude.
まあ、よろしく。栄光塾なら。
そうか、ありがとう。
Is she a slime? The thing at the top of her head reminds me of the fucking slimes from, like, you know, like those, like, JRPG shit, dude. I said with the pose look. No. The blue hair. Oh, the eyes, the thingy on the top of her head. It's just like, I don't know, it reminds me of that. That's why I'm like, ah. She said with the pose look.
助かったよ、鬼のお兄ちゃん。それにカタツムリのお嬢ちゃん。僕は決め顔でそう言った。
Is this what reincarnated as a slime is? With the pose look. Hams. Oh, Hams. She'll tell you what she is. I know, with the pose look at some point in time, dude. Oof. That's been twice, dude. Clearly there's emphasis with Oshino, dude.
そういえば影縫さん、影縫ヨズル。彼女もまた僕を鬼畜と呼ぶだけではなく、カレンのことも何か言ってたような。
鬼畜なお兄やんにスズメバチの妹家。おもろいやん。
鬼？鬼畜？鬼、血を吸う鬼、吸血鬼。
しかし荒木さん、私の見るところあの子なかなかできますよ。私の師匠でようやく互角ぐらいでしょうね。
お前に師匠なんかいねえよ。
Why do I... Oh, we'll wait. Let me gather my thoughts. Oh, fuck, Brady. Thanks so much for gifting 5 gifted subs, man. I appreciate it. Everyone drop some Doritos for Brady. I know, Brady coming in clutch, dude. Like a fucking goat. Brady coming in with the pose look. So it seems as though Oshino... Bochi, yeah, actually, like, we've... Oof. Bake to the other one to this... It's been a journey. I think that there's still more or different things that we have to go through. My number one thing though is going through this is I'm kind of wondering what is the role of the other sister going to be in these final episodes. I'm trying to correlate it. Let me put a pin on that one. Let's jump over here. Why is it that the power hole that Oshino left is trying to get filled? Whether it was with my other dude, right? Now with these new characters coming in, it seems as though that void is constantly trying to go ahead and be filled in some way, shape, or form. You know, Kaiki, yeah. That's where I'm like, it's like a big fire. It's like a big tornado. He left some very big shoes to fill, and it feels as though everyone's trying to like jump in or trying to like step into this realm to try and fill it in, and it's like, And I kind of wonder what's gonna happen if if Oshino comes back. Because when Oshino comes back in any way, shape, or form, in a weird way, I think all of them. I think she's probably going to try and set up business, try and be sort of like an Oshino character, but not really, right? Because there's only one Oshino, and Oshino's fucking OP as shit. Yeah, Oshino was a beast at his job, just underappreciated the way a lot of people are at their jobs. A lot of good therapists as well, man. A lot of good therapists are really underappreciated. A lot of people in the healthcare and medical industry and everything, they might be fucking beasts, but they're like underappreciated. Guys, I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all know. Like, me just being straight up about it, me getting all sentimental, but yeah, because there's been a lot of phenomenal individuals, phenomenal, just people overall that are amazing at their jobs, but don't get the recognition for it, But through that, yeah, dude, those are some very big shoes to fill, and then the concept of roles comes into play. For example, Ara-kun is clearly stepping on a lot of people's toes. So what role is he going to go ahead and fit in this dimension? And the fact that they were able to go ahead and call him out as a devil and a hornet, and then devil and a snail. If she would be safe if Ocean's, yeah. There's a lot, dude. And I'm processing this and I'm going through it and I'm like, I'm even fucking terrified. I am legit fucking, like, if I was in that town, I think Oshino and I, like, scrap, like, let's say we threw down physically. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think it'd be a fucking journey, honestly. But yeah, Nisemonogatari overall has a lot of interesting moments. It has a lot of moments of questioning. For example, and this is aside from the characters, what's happening with the characters. Put yourself in those shoes and then ask yourself, what would you do in a situation, right? Would you allow a situation to go as far as it's gone so far? Would you allow your partner to do certain things? What would you do to be able to go ahead and I don't know how to put it. What would you do to go ahead and be able to like ascertain some of these moments or talk about certain things, some of these moments, right? Especially with your partner if you're recognizing that something's wrong. My mind is boggled because I thought I had an idea as to where this is gonna go to end, and now I don't. My mind is just fucking shook. Usually, like for example, with Bochi, I've been able to call out majority of the stuff in general, because of the way that it's actually laid out pretty well, right? You take any good play therapist and good individuals able to go ahead and like, okay, this is sort of starting to lead here. We've seen this here, but in this one, it's always interesting because like the twists are a little bit harder to see, and you gotta like twist and twist and twist and twist, right? Bochi is like she's just like us for real, for real. This one's like, I hope that's not me. For real, for real. This one's like, hey, yo, I hope I'm not like Ara-kun. I know, dude. Author's mind is too horny for Ed to predict. I wish I was Oshino for real, for real. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done with. You have to hope? Nah, bro, you just gotta be.